So over the last couple years, I've shot a lot of videos here in Vancouver, and I've shown you guys bits and pieces of the downtown area. But I got to thinking that one of the things I hadn't done is I haven't given you guys a really good in-depth tour of downtown Vancouver and the areas that surround downtown. So if you guys want to come with me and check out downtown Vancouver, Washington, then stick around because we're getting out there right now. All right, so we're going to start off in the downtown portion of Vancouver, which this road right here is Mill Plain. So we're going to check out everything that is south of this road. So when it comes to downtown Vancouver, I think probably the best way that I can think to describe it is it's kind of a mix of old meets new. Because as we go along here, you're going to see a lot of new construction office buildings. There's new Whole Foods that is under construction right now just up the road here. But as we go through, you can see there's a lot of older buildings, places like Burbridge Cellars right there. It's been around forever. The Brick House Tavern, which is right here. That place has also been around forever. So old meets new really is kind of the theme of downtown Vancouver. Yeah, especially like when you look at the buildings over here on the left hand side, that style with the like tall arched windows. That's very like 1960s, 70s ish. I don't know, something like that. But it definitely dates the building. And then you've got your standard office buildings. This one here on the right is where my firm's quote-unquote offices are, since we're virtual. The little restaurant that's right there on the corner in that building, Amaro's Table, that place has some amazing food. But then as we go along here, you can see the older buildings here. And then you've got Kiggins Theater over on the left-hand side. That place has literally been around forever. I remember my dad telling me stories about watching movies there when he was a kid. All right, so now this guy here on the left, obviously, homeless. He's, had some better days. Hopefully he's had better days. But one of the big things with Vancouver that, you'll see a lot in a lot of the comments on my videos and stuff like that, people talking about how horrible it is. There's homeless people everywhere. That was the first guy that I saw when I got to driving around shooting these videos. And we'll talk a little bit more about it, but if you guys really look around as we're, driving through the streets here, for the most part, everything's clean. Everything's nice. You got people out having their morning coffee, things like that. It was pretty early when I was shooting these videos. So that's why there's not a ton of, foot traffic out there right now. Then you got the famous Smith Tower there, the big, tall, circular building. You can see that place from everywhere. It's a seniors retirement apartment community. But then like right here on the right, you got these new condos and everything that have been built here within the past 15, 20 years. Those ones are pretty nice. I've been inside there. And then you got Esther Short Park here, which this is a really nice park right in the middle of downtown. It's where they do Saturday market, stuff like that in the summertime. And then right across the street, you got City Hall there. And then we're going to jump down over to the Waterfront Park. So this is where a lot of the, urban renewal, new businesses, this whole new waterfront area. This is all new within probably the past 7-8 years, something like that. There used to not be a whole lot here. There was some older Red Lion Hotel down the way a little bit, closer to the bridge over there. And it was really kind of a skanky area. It just was not very nice at all. But they're spending a ton of money, building all of these new condos, and I believe those are all condos. They're really, really expensive. There's one I was just looking at that it's like a 3-bedroom condo. It's like $3 million. It's insane. But then this stretch right here, right along the waterfront, you got a ton of restaurants, little wine bars, places like that. There's a tap house up there on the top level of this one above Twig's Bistro. You got Wildfin over here on the corner. They've got some pretty good food. Twig's Bistro right here, food's okay. It's kind of overrated in my opinion. But then you got these other places. A lot of these are I haven't even been to. They're so new. Some of them I still probably wouldn't even go to anyway, like the wine bars. You're not going to find me in there. But this guy right here on the corner, Stack 571, that's my place. Look at those burgers. Those fries, those Gorgonzola waffle fries. Oh my God, those things are the shit. They are so good. And then, once you get done having a good burger and some whiskey, coming over here to the yard, this milkshake bar right here, look at those things. Bring the kids down, get them all jacked up. Let them run around out there in that waterfront area. They got that splash pad. There's also like a little playground area down on one end. I've got a friend, she loves taking her boys down there. But yeah, you got this Hotel Indigo, which this is really, really new. And then you can see there's still a ton of construction going on down here. You got all these condos up here, up above the buildings. All right, now we're moving back into the downtown area. Now, coming up here on the left, so when I was filming it, this guy right here, that was the first homeless tent that I saw the entire time I was filming this. Now, there's a little map that's going to pop up here. These are all the homeless camps that I saw, but I did forget a couple right around when you get off the freeway, right around at Mill Plain and I-5. So there's some camps in there. And now we've got the Clark County Courthouse. So anything you need down here, that's the courthouse. You've got the sheriff's office headquarters, and the jail is right behind that. You've also got juvie is right across the street there from the courthouse. And then the other building there on the left is another county building. So a lot of stuff like, if you need to get a marriage license, there's all sorts of other county offices in there. And then same with this one right here on the corner. That's for auto licensing and elections. Alright, now we're going to jump up into the Uptown area. So that's going to be basically everything north of Mill Plain. So this is Main excuse me. So this is Main Street right here. And it's not as updated as the downtown area. Now I'm going to stop right here. This place right here, Doomsday Brewing Safe House. Buddy of mine owns that, so what kind of friend would I be if I didn't put a little plug in there for him. But you do have a lot of really nice little breweries, tap rooms. You got Uptown Barrel Room. You got the Tip Top Tavern. That's another one that's been around for years. Thirsty Sasquatch. They've got some really good looking pizzas. I haven't been in there before, but after taking a look at some of their pizzas online, I'm going to have to stop in for a beer and get me some pizza. But yeah, so a lot of this Uptown area, this is what it looks like. Smaller little bars, things like that. And then as we go further north up here, we're going to start getting into more of the residential areas. Now, take into account just like a block on either side of this main street is all residential areas. So from here to the east over to the freeway is all residential, and then same to the west. Like you can see, you've got houses and apartments and stuff over here on the left-hand side. It's all older residential neighborhoods back that way. You got the Vancouver School for Arts and Academics over here. I hear that's a pretty tough school to get into. Okay, so now we're finally getting into the neighborhoods. And kind of like I talked before, a lot of Vancouver is old meets new, and up here in these residential areas, you're seeing a ton of revitalization. You're seeing a lot of vacant lots that are getting bought up, and new homes are getting put on them. A lot of these older, more classic homes are getting rehabbed. So as you go along here, you're going to see a lot of homes that have either been very well maintained or have been completely remodeled. Like you got this gal out here, she was real nice. She was waving to me that she's out there upkeeping her yard. Like this one right across the street here, nice, beautiful green grass. So there's a ton of homes up here in this Uptown area. This one over here has got the dumpster out there, so they're doing some work. But yeah, there's a ton of homes up here in this area that are being remodeled, being rehabbed. So it's really not as bad as some people might make it out to be. So when we get to talking about the revitalization and rehab that's going on down here in the downtown Vancouver area, right behind me is a really good example of it. Now, we were going to go inside and take a look at this home, but right as I got here, I found out this home just went under contract, so it's no longer on the market. So we'll show you some pictures of it, but this is a really good example of what we're seeing revitalization-wise going on here in the downtown Vancouver area. Yeah, that was a new construction home on that one. All right, now we're going to jump back over. We're going to head over to the east side. Again, we're on Mill Plain. This is kind of the dividing road. Mill Plain will run all the way west to, over to the Columbia River, Frenchman's Bar Park, and it will go all the way east over to Camas. It's a little bit of a drive doing that, but right here off of Mill Plain there, you got Marshall Park. I didn't get some really good footage of that because every time I went out there, that place was packed with moms and their kids, and naturally they were all kind of leery of the big fat dude out there with the GoPro. So I tried to be respectful of them and give them their privacy. But as you keep going down Mill Plain, you can see, a lot of these homes, they're not as nice, they're not as well kept. But again, if you get just off of these main thoroughfares, this area right here, this little neighborhood, is like 3 blocks south of Mill Plain, and you've got these older, more classic homes, larger lots, very, very well kept homes. So when you're coming to the area and doing your exploration trip, that's why you really have to get off of the main thoroughfares, in these main drag roads like Mill Plain, Fourth Plain, to find these, these nice little neighborhoods. Because what happens is they've got these little pockets of them that, unless you knew this neighborhood was there, you would never expect it to be to have such a nice neighborhood in an area like this, because just a few blocks, to the north, you've got older, more rundown homes that, you probably don't want to live in, probably wouldn't be your first choice. But then, you got ones like this, nice, quiet little streets. To be honest, I didn't even know this neighborhood was here. Didn't even know, the quality of the homes in this neighborhood. I just kind of happened to, there's a guy a few blocks away. He is a licensed firearms dealer, and I had actually done some business with him a year or so ago. So when I was out driving around, I was like, oh, I'll just go, cruise through his neighborhood. Now we're coming into probably my favorite part of Vancouver, and it's the Fort Vancouver National Historic Site, and where we're at right now is Officers Row. So if you guys that have been watching the channel for a while, I've mentioned it more than enough times, probably too many times. I'm a total history nerd, So places like this, this used to be the old Fort Vancouver and Fort Vancouver Army Base. So again, this is Officers Row here. You've got the parade fields, and you've got the artillery barracks way over there on the right. We're kind of coming out of view of them. But this is just kind of a really cool place to get out and walk around. There's a lot of businesses in these old officers' homes. Some of them are actual residential homes now, but there's restaurants and other businesses and stuff. And then down here on the other side of the parade grounds, you've got the reconstructed Hudson's Bay Trading Post, Fort Vancouver. You got Pearson Field. Just a ton of history for Vancouver. All right, now we're going to get out of there and we're going to go up and we're going to check out Fruit Valley. Now we're back on Mill Plain again, and you can see the homeless tents and things like that along the wall here. Now I've been through this area, more times than I can count. But really, the amount of homeless tents and camps and things like that along this stretch, I don't know if things on the homeless front are starting to ease up a little bit, but there definitely wasn't as many out there as I'm used to seeing. And that goes for the areas like around the freeway, Marshall Park area. There used to be a ton right around in that area. So it kind of looks like things are starting to get cleaned up a little bit. Now, as we head out to Fruit Valley through downtown, and there's a couple ways to go, but basically the Fruit Valley neighborhood is over in the industrial area of Vancouver, and it's a pretty small little section of residential neighborhood. So like you can see here, we're going through all of, the port area, the Port of Vancouver. Now, Fruit Valley was originally built as homes for the Kaiser shipyard workers back when they were building ships for, the war effort in World War II. Now, I've talked about Fruit Valley before in some of my other videos, and those videos are like neighborhoods to avoid or that you might not want to consider. And one of the big reasons why I wanted to redo Fruit Valley in here is just like with a lot of the other areas in Vancouver, you're seeing a lot of properties being rehabbed, properties being kept up. Plus the fact I've had a chance to talk with, some people that live in the area, and they've had nothing but good things to say, which, that's fantastic. I love hearing that. Unfortunately, Fruit Valley has had it's built a really bad reputation. So it is great to hear from people that actually live in the area and get their experiences, and especially when they're positive ones. So as we're going through here, you can see most of the homes here in the area, they're going to be these smaller, right around, anywhere from like 800 to like 1,200 square feet. But a lot of them, they're getting rehabbed, total, full-on remodels. There's one up the corner here. You can see everything out there in the front yard that I really hope that's a rehab and they're not just throwing their garbage out there. All right, so now we're going to head out and we're going to show you some of the more natural areas. So further west from downtown, you've got Vancouver Lake. Now, this area is real popular. There's rowers that are out here every single day. It's, looks to be a pretty nice park area. It's not one that I ever really go to, so I can't say too much. Further west from Vancouver Lake, you've got Frenchman's Bar Park, which this place is really popular. Sits right along the Columbia River. Summertime, middle of the day when it gets really hot out here, this place is packed.
All right, guys, thanks for checking out Vancouver with me today. If you're ready to make that move to Vancouver or anywhere here in Southwest Washington and you want to work together, feel free to reach out anytime. The information is all down below. Call, text, email. You guys know what to do, and I love hearing from you, so don't be afraid to reach out. Do me a quick favor before you guys head out of here today. If you got anything from today's video, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing to the channel and tap that notification bell if you want to know the next time I put out a new video. Until next time, bye everybody.